The year is 2119. You're in Gordist. I'm the mayor, and this is our main engineer. We are a city located in Russia. We have a population of around 20,000 people. Most of our jobs involve hunting, so we can make a profit by selling furs, meat, and more to other countries.
I made it! I'm from 100 years back. I was testing the time machine I built. Our city was in danger, so I came here for help. Can you show me around?
Sure. Over here is where we go hunting, as I just mentioned. Right now we are on a bridge over our artificial river.
Artificial river? What is it used for?
Well, we can use it to export and import goods to keep our city running smoothly.
Yes, we also built it to help control our flooding problem. You see, we live in the taiga, so during the winter we get lots of snow. And in the spring it all melts down the mountains and could be a big problem if we didn't have our river. It acts like a funnel to catch all the runoff. We also have a problem with permafrost, with the water being trapped in the soil and then being released when it's warmer.
Wow, that's pretty smart. Is that a lighthouse over there?
That's right. It is used to show boats there in Gordist. As we come off the bridge here, to our left is our funeral home. And to our right is a public transportation building.
I've noticed that your roads are deserted and there aren't any cars. What do you use to transport around the city if there aren't any cars? Do these big white tubes have something to do with your transportation?
Yes, they do. One of my very own inventions. It's a pneumatic tube system set up all throughout the city where if you get in a carrier, it can pretty much take you anywhere.
Really? How does it work?
Well, first we have airtight tubes so that the air blowers that power the pneumatic tubes can work properly and change the amount of pressure inside the air tubes. The air blowers are at two different ends of the tubes to either push the carrier or bring it back to the tubes, which changes position. There are also diverters which can change which tube you are in and take you to different parts of the city. The system can travel about 60 or 70 miles an hour.
That's right, and there are several destinations throughout the city. And you can travel there without the hassle of traffic, stoplights, and cars on the road. It also transports large groups of people in just one trip.
The carrier that is inside of the tubes is round and fit in them, but has a flat floor so that people can stand easily. Despite being so big and vast across the city, we planned it with the help of other engineers to make sure we place them in the right spots. Our roads are used for emergency use only, so only the garbage trucks, police cars, fire trucks, and ambulances can access them.
Oh, all right. That makes sense now that you've explained it.
Would you like to continue with the tour?
Yes, of course. What are these kids doing in this building?
That is the daycare, and this is the school. And there are children all on the same property to make things easier. School hours are from 10 to 5.
That is a very good idea.
The next thing on our tour is Town Hall. Across the street is our huge fountain. It's a must-see for tourists and even locals. We use this instead of a park because we loved it so much.
Wow, it's beautiful. Is that a hospital?
Yes, it accepts patients from babies to elders.
That is helpful to all citizens in Gordist.
Yes, it is. This red building here is our bunker. There are two tunnels connecting to every building, and it leads to the bunker underground. There are stairs connecting down, but if anyone has a disability, you can have a ramp installed. There are big red signs pointing everyone in the right direction to the bunker to make traveling efficient and safe.
That is very thoughtful of you guys. What is this giant black building right up here?
That is one out of two of our generator buildings. The second one will be coming up shortly on our tour. But they both have the same purpose. They store extra energy gathered, and in case of emergency, we still have access to that energy in case we need it.
If a disaster happens and we need to rescue people, our cars can still run. If any of those people need to be hospitalized and tended to immediately, we have a higher chance of keeping them safe. And right here is the movie theater to give to our all citizens something to do. The blue building next to it is the nursing home.
Are these two buildings the police station and fire station? I noticed police cars and fire trucks outside of them.
Yes, that is right. And this is the police station and this is the fire station. There is also a mall that has everything you will need.
Is that a giant wind turbine here?
Yes, it is. That is where we get most of our power from.
I don't know much about wind turbines. Can you explain how they work?
Sure, here in Gordist we get lots of wind, and that is one of the main reasons we chose to get our power this way. The wind turns the three propeller-like blades around a rotor. The rotor is connected to a main shaft, which spins a generator, creating electricity. We want to make sure we did our best to get a good, clean system.
Do you have a backup energy plan just in case something happens to your turbines?
Yes, we also get some power from waste-to-energy plants. They burn garbage, producing steam in a boiler, giving us some more energy.
Okay, that makes sense. What are these big yellow buildings here? I've seen them all throughout the city, but you never explained them.
Those are our apartment buildings. Most of our citizens stay in apartment buildings, but if you have enough money, you can own a house, which are one of these buildings.
Here is our waste management building. This is where all of the garbage is brought to. The recyclables, garbage, and waste that can go to the waste energy plants are all separated. We make sure that our city is always clean.
That's a good thing. You don't want a dirty city. What is this clear building up here? I noticed that there are some small plants inside.
That is our greenhouse. We grow a smaller, limited amount of plants and flowers in there. Because the ground is frozen most of the year, it is hard to grow crops. And to finish up the tour, we have a church. Here we accept all religions, so it doesn't matter what religion you are.
Thank you for showing me around your city. Now I can go home and use some of your great ideas to make my city so much better with flooding. I make sure to use the pneumatic tubes back at my city. Goodbye!
So if you have like a bunch of people leaving at once, is there something in place that they don't crash into each other, or to some sort of overall person controlling what goes
we
where?
have people like
In the front, basically, of the carriers. And there are also switches and stuff so that you can move that way.
Okay. So there are people like driving each
Yes.
one of them?
Yeah.
Well, they aren't really driving it, but they're just like in front just in case something happens.
Okay. So they see someone coming, they can divert it.
Yeah.
Is there like a control system to help them keep track of where?
Yeah,
all the
that's in
different-
our public transportation building.
So you mentioned the use of the bunker as like an emergency area for people to go. Outside of flooding, what other uses would you envision that people need to use that bunker for? What type of disasters would they need a bunker?
Well, there could be earthquakes and things, but in Russia, where we are, there aren't really any other natural disasters besides flooding. But it could be useful for things like tornadoes and really anything that you really need it for.
A bunker is really the best thing for flooding, something that's underground.
Well, even though there is like water that's sometimes like in the dirt and stuff, the tubes are basically like waterproof so that nothing can get in them or anything, so everybody's always safe.
Since your city is so far north, I imagine in the winter you guys have a lot of snow, potentially blizzards. Is your city equipped to handle like a large amount of snow, essentially a large blizzard that passes through?
Yeah. The buildings are very strong. They're made of a material called carbon fiber, so that they won't fall or be like smashed or anything. They'll be perfectly fine. And everything else is like, snow is similar to water. Well, it is water but frozen. So it's basically all the same uses. Everything is the same for snow.
Would the snow or ice affect your wind power at all?
No, we treated it so that we make sure that everything is like waterproof and it won't freeze up whenever it's cold.
But in case something did happen to them, we still have the garbage energy source, and that's also we have the backup energy.
Do you have more than one wind turbine? Is there an entire fleet?
Yes, but they aren't located right by the city.
How much waste do you need to produce? Does the city make enough waste to produce enough energy to power everything in the city?
Well, it's just backup, but in case something did happen, there is, because it takes all of the garbage and all of the recycled and everything into there, and it just creates a lot of energy. So it would be good for a short amount of periods, but whenever if it runs out or anything, we also have the backup energy.
And the backup is whatever excess energy you create with the other
Yeah,
systems,
that we
so
don't need at that moment.
So have you guys looked much into like the efficiency of wind energy and the burning trash versus other sources of energy, and whether they would, like in modern times, be enough to power a whole city?
garbage energy wouldn't be enough, but both of them combined can help power it all, and with the energy stored in these buildings.
But we don't have a lot of people, only around 20,000, so it's not that big of a problem.
Have you thought about importing garbage?
Yes, we import a lot of things that other cities won't need, and then we trade our furs and meats so that we can give them what they need and we can get what we need.
Why did you guys choose Russia and why hunting?
Well, we chose Russia kind of because we were like, hey, what do you want to do? We were like, why not Russia? So that kind of happened, but hunting.
And Russia's a very big place.
Yeah, so there's a lot of room. And hunting because there's a lot of animals and stuff near where we are located in Russia, so it's very easy to.
How are you going to make sure you don't deplete that resource?
We make sure that no one hunts too much and that there's enough animals where they can they'll still be there whenever.
Do you have regulations so that you don't overhunt?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Russia's very cold. What do you guys do for heating?
Well, we have heaters in all of the buildings, and
Which are powered by what?
the garbage energy, and mostly everything is powered by wind, but in case something happens that's extra, so basically everything is powered by wind.
Is it really windy in your city?
Yes, that is why we decided to use wind turbines. It would be the best source of energy without any extra pollution.
What do your citizens do for fun or recreation?
We have,
Well, we have the movie theater, and there are also things around town that you can do.
like shopping,
Yes.
the fountain. A lot of people go and visit that. It's basically a park, but instead of a park, it's a fountain because we thought it was beautiful.
How is your electrical grid set up? Is it underground, overground?
It's underground, so kind of like the tunnels underground, they're waterproof so that they won't be damaged whenever they're being transmitted underground, and they go to every building in the city.
And it's easy to take them out in case something does happen to them.
And how do you deal with the permafrost layer since you're so far north? Are they under, have you got them under the permafrost layer?
Yeah. They're kind of down by where the tunnels are so that we can access them through the tunnels.
How does your city pay for, all of the maintenance and all the infrastructure besides the tree? Is that enough to cover everything?
Yes, it is. Our city isn't very large, so it doesn't take very much money to power it. Although the wind turbines are kind of expensive, but how they're made, they're pretty good. They don't often need maintenance. And we do have a little extra money just in case anything ever happens.
Do you tax your citizens too? Or?
A little bit so that we can provide them with certain things.
But it's around the same that it is nowadays. It hasn't changed much.
What other services do you provide your citizens?
Like, what do you need?
Like disability, health care, do you take care of the sick and elderly or low income?
We have really cheap health care. That way everyone can always be safe. And we have the ramps just so that they can get under. That way we want all of our citizens to always be okay. Also, our hospital takes from babies to elders, like everyone of all ages. And it isn't that expensive, although it does take a little bit of money to go there because of all of the medical equipment and stuff that you need. But the healthcare is covered most of it.
Okay, we have time for one more question.
You guys, I have no
Go
question.
for it.
What about education? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, so everyone enrollment is located in this school building, so like college, middle school, elementary, high school is all located in there.
Or in preschool, like
And
everyone.
some colleges are online, so we can do it without having to go anywhere.
Is that all covered by the city?
Well, it does take money because it's still education, but the school doesn't besides the tax money.
So the citizens don't have to directly pay for education?
No.
Only high or college.
Are you good?